Hi everyone, you're welcome to another exciting session of the CodeV Business Solution PLC Free Skills Acquisition Program. My name is Adewale Aziz Abdu, and I'll be taking you on the business registration procedures. And as you all know, that there's nothing you can actually do as regard business in Nigeria without being registered with the CAC. Enjoy this session.
So guys, let's go into the class proper. And I'm sure we are all ready to, remind ourselves of this particular topic, as any business situated in Nigeria must understand the tenets or what is required to actually get your business registered. So far, you want to have a legal business. Yeah. So the first we'll be looking at under registration of business is the sole proprietorship and partnership. So I'll be delving more into the sole proprietorship category, because that is where majority of startups fall into. And as a matter of fact, because we are just starting, we are just like a normal person on the street that is just starting to put something on the table with the little things that you can start with. So we are going straight into registration of a sole proprietorship business, which means to a large extent you have to fall under this category to start with. It is referred to as like the basic in terms of business registration. And the basic here is talking about you being able, as an individual or a corporate body solely, as the case may be, to be able to carry on business with either with yourself or with another person that you want to do the business with. So sole proprietorship is still refers to as a business name registration, as the case may be. So since it is just you, or you and your brother, or you and your wife, it's more or less like still a sole proprietorship business. So as such, you are registering this, and you want to have a certificate in that name to say that this business is also registered, but at your level it is referred to as a business name that you are registering. So we will look at it from that perspective, though it will be referred to as a corporate body, but underneath details will be stated as a business name, which does not in any way enjoy any legal personality. So it is not separate from the proprietor, it's not separate from the owner, as the case may be. It is just what it is. So that is that. Again, we'll also be looking at the limited liability. So under the limited liability partnership, we're talking about partnership in which some of all partners, depending on the jurisdiction, what they have limited liabilities, it is therefore can exhibit elements of partnership and cooperation. So in this case, we refer to it as LLP, that's limited liability partnership. Limited liability partnership, and as such, each partner is responsible or liable for another partner's misconduct or negligence. So in this particular scenario, you're looking at you coming up with a business entity to register, and you have other people, as against what we had in sole proprietorship that is just one person. But in this particular scenario, you have a limited liability partnership where you have two or more people coming together to do business together. And it varies, it depends on which aspect you want to take. But unlike the sole proprietorship, this one it has a separate legal entity. So the principle of separate legal entity comes into this, in which the members or partners are only liable for the amount of money invested in that business. So you, as a partner, you are liable to the tune of your contribution, to the tune of your investment, plus any other personal guarantees as stated at inception of that business. So the partnership is incorporated at Companies House and can only be used for profit-making businesses only. So you cannot just say, okay, we are forming a partnership business and you are doing things that are not profit-oriented. So it has to be strictly profit-making business. So in this situation, there are various types of partners, as we have read in the past or were taught in school back then. If you remember, the likes of the active partners, the sleeping partners, which we refer to as the dormant partners, We have the nominal partners. We have partner by Estopel. We have partner in profits. We have limited partners, as the case may be. So we know, of course, the active partners are also the partners that are in charge of the business, the day-to-day running of the business, while the sleeping partner or the dormant partner, as the case may be, are referred to as those who have contributed part of the fund required to actually set up that business or to run the business. They are not engaged fully on a day-to-day basis as the active partner, but they put in their money in getting returns. I'm sure you understand this package. So the other one is the nominal partner. The nominal partners are just there. I can just nominate my wife to be a partner of that business. She may not necessarily contribute money or have any significant contribution, but then I just want her to be part of the list of directors or partners, as the case may be. So, and the likes are stated there. And like this particular one, partners in profit, some people are actually strictly very close to that of a dormant partner, but they are strictly into profit. Unlike dormant partner, when you drop your money, you gain profit. When there is a loss, you share the loss too, to the tune of what you have contributed. But for partners in profit, those ones are strictly for profit. If you make profits, they share with you. You make loss, it is none of their business. So it has to be an agreement from inception. So when you are going into agreement as a partner, you want to look at what are the rudiments of this partnership agreement. Now, the third category is what we refer to as the private company. So private companies are companies whose shares may not be offered to the public for sale and which operate under legal requirements less strict than those for a public company. So when you say companies whose shares may not be offered to the public, so which means the shares can also be offered to the public despite being a private company. But we are saying that the shareholders here are also part of the owners of the business. So a certain percentage of it are being assigned to the unit or volume of shares owned or held by members of the public that have put down their money to be part of this business. So we call it a business arrangement that enjoys a legal personality. Legal personality means there's a principle of legal entity. The business is different from the owners. So the business is different from the owners in the sense that if there are issues that the business has gotten into, the law will deal directly with the business and not the owner. So you cannot hold the owners liable on some issues simply because you've separated the owners of the business from the business itself. That's the principle of legal entity. However, if there are issues that has to do with legal implications, fraudulent transactions, or evasion of tax, blah blah blah, all those kind of things that are very critical, you can now unveil. The court can give you the injunction to unveil the face that are the owners, the managers, the owners of that organization. But in this case, this particular public company have the privilege of separating the owner from the business. So that's the principle of legal entity. So it's a corporate body and it's separate from its members outrightly. The liabilities of members of the company, which are referred to as the owners of the business, may be limited by shares or guarantee, or may be unlimited, as the case may be. So once it is documented, so the liability is limited by the number of shares that you have in the company. So a company may be public, may also be private, as the case may be. So the name of the company must end with the word limited. Like we have Ways Footwears Nigeria Limited, for instance. If it is limited, it has to be stated. If it's a PLC, it has to be stated. So PLC are the ones that can actually issue shares to members of the public to be part of owners of that business. So it must have either limited at the back of the name of the business, or a limited, or even unlimited, as the case may be. You can have unlimited, and you can also have limited by guarantee. So all these are terms for this category of registration. And just to state that one of these three categories is where we can actually find ourselves, as the case may be. But like I stated, the basics for people that are just starting, just want to enter the business, you just learned how to do catering, and you want to start a small business, and you think, yes, I want to have a certificate in my business name. Like I mentioned, business name. So you can go for strictly a sole proprietorship kind of arrangement, have the business registered. It is less stressful. It does not require so much commitment from other people or bringing partners into the business. It does not require so much documentation as other categories. So I just started, I just made, learned how to make soap, or I just learned how to make chin snacks. I just learned how to, do fashion designing, and I want to start small. In fact, this sole proprietorship, as a case may be, you may start in your house where you live currently. You may start in your parents' place. You may start in a friend's corner. It doesn't have to be something large before you can. So it can be as less stressful as possible, in as much as you are starting small. And of course, it can be upscaled over time. So I will go straight to the documentation required for this registration, and I'll be speaking generally. So but I will state the categories that offers less documentation, as stated earlier. For the required documentation, first of all, you need to have a name of a business. What do you want to name your business? Are you Jessica and Jesse, for example, Jessica and Jesse something limited? Do you want to make it Waste Footwears? Waste Footwears is the name of a company. Do you understand? Once you are doing proprietorship, you cannot have Nigeria Limited or Unlimited by Guarantee or PLC. So if it's a business name, just have it as Waste Footwears. You cannot have any other name affixed to it. So if it is what's it called now? The one that is limited by guarantee, you have to put Waste Footwear Limited by Guarantee. That should be there. They have LTD/GTE. That's what you have in there. But if you just limited, you put after the name that you have coined out, the limited will be there. However, these names would have to be searched by your consultant that is helping you with the registration, or even when you are doing it yourself too, you take it for a search. They will tell you whether the name is available for you to use, or it has been chosen or taken by somebody else. So at the inception, by the time you are thinking of a name of your business, you can be unique as possible, and you can be as lucky as possible to have that name restricted for you, as in like left alone for you. Just get it, they say it's available, you can use it. But most of the times you come up with a name, and they will tell you this has already been taken. You need to coin it, you need to adjust it, you need to modify it, and all that. So having said that, you need a name, like I stated. You need a name, so which will now be added eventually if it is a PLC, if it is a limited and all that. Then you need a registered or office address. So for sole proprietorship, for instance, I told you I'll be emphasizing so much on sole proprietorship because of the level at which you are going. So for sole proprietorship, for instance, you may still use your current address where you are living as your registered address, or as your office address where you are living, or that shop that you are using, or that's your parents' location that you are. Anywhere you are, you can still, so far that address can be traced, it can be identified, it can be verified. You have to state the address. Also, residential address. For sole proprietorship, residential address can as well be your office address. Again, I repeat, your residential address can also be your office address. You don't have to go and rent an office or rent a shop before you can have your business registered. You can be in the corner of your room. So far your address is verifiable, put it there. So your residential address can also be your registered or office address, as the case may be, because whatever it is that you put there will appear on your certificate of registration. Then, of course, a mobile phone number that is accessible, because those are going to be data that will be captured on the platform and will also appear on your certificate. A valid email address, which is verifiable. A valid means of identification. It can be voter's card, it can be your national ID card, it can be international passport, it can be any valid means of identification within the country of residence, and I'm talking about Nigeria. So you have to present that. Then you have to get an electronic signature that will be consistent with what you'll be using going forward. So this electronic signature, of course, you can just sign on a document on a paper and have it scanned for you. You can have it scanned, have it on your system or on your phone. So by the time it's being required, but if you are filling a physical copy, of course, all this will be required and you have to sign on the form, to make it easy. So you can either be electronic signature or a physical signature, as the case may be. Then, of course, you need passport photographs. So it can be soft copy, it can be hard copy. If you are filling it online, of course, you need your soft copy. If you are filling a document, a physical document, a paper, then you must have a passport photograph. I think about 4 passport photographs will serve you, or even less. Then the type of business and the reason for that business have to be stated. So under the category of the objects of the business, the type of business you want to do, you have to state it. Is it catering and snacks? Is it detergent making and disinfectant and all that? You have to state it. Is it fashion designing or just fashion? And in this regard, you must have seen certificate that they put some of the things that they'll be doing and they not put, and general merchandise. And general merchandise there is stating that you can as well do some other things, as the case may be, so that they will not say that you said these are the things that the certificate cover, but these are the things that are doing now. So you can run under that. I don't know if it is still applicable, but that is the gimmicks we use in saying, okay, you can also capture it because you can diversify in the future to some other things beyond what you are doing currently. So you can always have that stated. Also, I need to mention that a major and remarkable feature of the new system is the introduction of e-certificate. Before now, it has to be just, you're walking into the CAC office and pick your document, or you're working with a consultant that will bring a document to you. But in this case, the Corporate Affairs Commission has introduced and adopted the issuance of e-certificate as against the former manual system. So this makes it easy. You don't have to go and queue at the CAC office. You don't have to go and see a consultant. You can simply, go to the cac.gov.ng website, follow the process, and start filling. You can, get this process without a third party or without paying a consultant. But sometimes people will prefer, okay, if I reach out to a consultant, it will be fast-tracked, it will be fast. I don't have to stress myself and all that. But then, you will also have to pay. If you have the money to pay, why not take off the stress and get it done? But if you are struggling, you are just trying to get this money, why not just go to this website and do a DIY, do it yourself? And of course, you can always have a certificate, either soft copy online, or you walk into their office to pick, as the case may be. So, for further inquiries, you can always go to www.cac.gov.ng or contact our legal department in Courtville Business Solution PLC, which is, you can send a mail to legal@courtvillegroup.com. You may also visit our head office at number 38 Commercial Avenue in Sabo Yaba, Lagos here, and ask to speak with the legal team. So I want to believe that I've been able to remind you of all these things that we've heard before regarding the business registration and the categories that we fall into. And I want to believe that you want to do business in a legal term where nobody will disturb you. And again, even in the future, you want to seek for investment opportunities, you want to seek people to come and put money into your business, to scale up your business, you may need to register your company so that whoever you're approaching will know that this is a business that's been in existence and that's recognized by government. Another benefit that may be accrued, to you. Thank you very much for listening. I want to believe that we've been reminded and we've learned something new. And I want to believe this will go to, the level that we never imagined in terms of height. Thank you. God bless you for listening. Thank you. Bye.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the session. And I hope you've learned one or two things, which is basic to what you need to know. And I want to believe that this will be of greater help for you in getting your business registered. And till catch you next time, follow us on our social media handle as displayed on the screen. Thank you. Bye.